What's good, y'all, and welcome back to the Soul Lab. Today I got a nice video for y'all. I will be reviewing a sneaker that's really been flying up under the radar for about the past year, maybe a year and a half, and that's the LI-NING JB Butler 2. What you see here is the Naval Academy colorway of this shoe, and this one's packing some serious performance features with a design that pays homage to the discipline and precision of the Naval Academy. But before I dive into the review, if you are new here, please hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe. I will be dropping a shoe design every single day coming up for NBA 2K26, as well as some gameplay, and hopefully I can keep it moving with some of these additional shoe reviews for y'all. Let's get into it. Now let's start with the tech. Up top, we got an engineered mesh upper that is reinforced with synthetic overlays. This shoe is very lightweight, each shoe just coming in at 397 grams or about 14 ounces per shoe. Now the majority of the weight is in the heel and the outsole, but you can actually feel how light the engineered mesh is up here. Now as you look at what I'm showing here, you can see how much light gets through to that actual shoe. And it's like you have a similarity between the KD4 with this particular shoe, just for the amount of breathability that the shoe has in that whole entire upper. Now, this outsole, pretty unique pattern here. It uses LI-NING's tough RB compound with a multi-directional pattern for maximum grip on both indoor and outdoor courts. Now, I played in these on a dusty court, I played in these on a non-dusty court, and the traction is just about the same. What I do like about it is, and I'll put it into the camera here, you can see the additional depth that this outsole has on the heel. As compared to the forefront of the shoe, it's not as deep in the traction, but that multi-directional pattern does actually get a little bit deeper as it comes back here to the back heel of the shoe. Now under the shoe, this is a cool little touch I like that he did. He put his kid's name on the actual TPU plate of the shoe. But this sculpted TPU plate embedded in the midfoot is there for stability and torsional support, which is huge for players who rely on quick directional changes. And if you think about a player with the style of JB Butler, he does move around that floor a lot. He does have a lot of quick directional changes, not only on offense, but defense as well. And that's where this good TPU plate really is embedded in that midfoot, and it really does come in handy. Now, the lockdown also comes from this lacing system. The one thing I do like about the lacing system is that it has these little fabric loops right here for it, but it's a standard lacing system with these integrated eyelets that really tie into the midfoot for a real snug, secure feel. And what I'll do here is I'll go ahead and I will pull on these laces so that way you can see exactly how it kind of laces up and where that actually pulls from. So you can see you can get a lot of support. If you're somebody that likes to have that support come across the top of the shoe there, it's perfect for you. This lace system is pretty solid. I would say that wearing these, I've never had it come loose. In terms of the laces, if you own a pair of any of the AE ones, you know those shoes come untied all the time. This shoe, you're not going to have a problem with that at all. Now, let's talk about what this shoe feels like on foot. The one thing I like about the shoe is that it has space on the inside. So it's not like a truly snug shoe. Kind of like, think about like your phone posits, how they have that internal boot that's in there. But this shoe really has a really snug fit that's also due in part to, one, the lacing system that I mentioned earlier. Two, this back heel, it protrudes out a little bit, so it really keeps the foot locked into place and it doesn't allow for like your foot to slide. So if you wear low cut socks, this may be a little bit irritating to you because this fabric is a little bit different. But if you wear like regular crew socks, you're gonna have this really lock that foot into place. You're not going to slide as much as you jump, as you move around. If you're doing quick cuts, you're not going to have much of that sliding around. Now, one thing, I have seen some additional reviews where people have talked about this tongue, and they say that this tongue is a little bit uncomfortable. Again, if you're wearing low cut like ankle socks, this piece right here may rub up against your shin, and I could see that being a little bit uncomfortable as you're playing. Supposedly, like if you're playing for like an hour, 45 minutes, you know, it does get a little bit irritating with that rubbing up against your shin, but that's if you wear low cut socks. A player like me, I like to wear like the crew cut socks. I like to have my socks pulled up, so I really don't feel too much of an issue with that particular tongue. But the tongue does stay in place thanks to the lace system, so there's no sliding around there. Now, the boom foam on the bottom of the shoe and on this midsole that I mentioned earlier, the boom foam does give you that perfect mix. Like you get nice heel landings with a quick springy forefoot, just wearing the shoe around the house, like when I first got it, I've really noticed that this cushioning is really solid. Like, it doesn't move much when you squeeze it, but as you're walking around on the shoe, that boom technology really does start to feel a little bit more comfortable the more that you wear it. So am I saying that you really need to break the shoe in a little bit? Yeah, every shoe needs a little bit of breaking in, but you can also get that solid court feel without sacrificing that cushioning. Like I said, if you're wearing it just around the house, you're going to feel it, but really when you're on the court, that's when you can really feel it. Now, I mentioned the outsole earlier in this multi-directional pattern here on this particular outsole. Like I said, we have a little bit more in-depth tread elements right here than you do in the forefront of the shoe, but right out the box, this traction is really excellent. On clean hardwood, it bites real hard. You don't have much of the squeak factor. Like, you can go out there and try to squeak test it all you want to. You're not really going to have any squeak out of this, which for me was a little bit concerning at first, because I was like, I'm used to my shoes having that squeak factor to it. Lets me know that I'm getting the traction that I really deserve, but this tough RB compound really feels like it's going to hold up well over time. Now, I do not play on outdoor courts. I play exclusively on indoor courts, so I don't know exactly how this traction is going to hold up on outdoor surfaces. However, if I had to speculate, you're going to get a little bit more runtime out of this heel than you will within the forefront of the shoe, partly due to the fact that this heel does have more of that in-depth traction right here, whereas the forefront of the shoe, it is pretty light. I know I've said that multiple times, but if you're an outdoor hooper, it's one of the things you're going to have to consider when it comes down to the longevity of the shoe. But as for fit, these run true to size for me. Narrow-footed players, you guys are going to love this snugness right here. As you saw earlier, I'll pull this one again. You see, like, the lace system can pull it really snug. Like I said, if you're like the type that wants that nice tightness right here over the foot, like that middle part of the foot, great. This is a great shoe for you. Narrow foot individuals, this is a great narrow shoe. Like I said, it doesn't have that much discomfort with this synthetic material right here on the outside of the shoe or on the inside of the shoe. But if you do have a wider foot, I would suggest that you go up at least a half size for that additional comfort. Now, from a design standpoint, the Naval Academy colorway is clean. The deep navy upper with gold accents gives it that military-inspired look without being too over the top. Now, you've got subtle detailing like the heel pull tab. You have Jimmy Butler's JB branding on the back of the shoe, right here on the heel, and it has a clean outsole that really ties the entire shoe together. The nice touches with his kids' names on that TPU plate, just additional subtle little details that Li-Ning really put into this shoe to really make it one of Jimmy Butler's own. Now, this is a performance-first shoe, but it's versatile enough to wear casually. Pair it with some joggers or some tapered pants, and you've got a low-key athletic streetwear look. Now, the build quality is strong on this shoe. The stitching is very clean. Glue lines are really non-existent, minimal at best. And after a few runs, there's barely any wear showing on this outsole. Now, that's something I can't say about every performance shoe that I've tested. I did clean up this outsole a little bit just to kind of, make it look good for the video. However, you really can't tell that other than maybe some creasing right there on that mesh. You really can't even tell that this shoe has been through some gym runs. Now, overall, the Li-Ning Jimmy Butler 2 is a sleeper still in 2025. This Naval Academy colorway, it looks great, pro level performance tech, premium build, and this colorway works really on and off the court. If you're looking for a guard-friendly shoe with a stable base, responsive cushioning, and solid traction, this Jimmy Butler 2 deserves a spot in your rotation. So that's it for the review, y'all. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe for more sneaker breakdowns. I will catch y'all on the next video. If you are interested in purchasing this shoe or want to take a closer look at some of the other shoes that Li-Ning brand has to offer, I will have a link in the description. Until next time, y'all, be safe.